In this video, we'll show you how to change the struts on your Ford F-150. You can find them on CarParts.com via the link in the description. For safety reasons, we strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Ford F-150 safely. To be able to replace a strut on your vehicle, you must disengage the outer tie rod from the wheel knuckle. Remove the cotter pin from the castellated nut of the outer tie rod with pliers. Brush the outer tie rod holding nut and spray it with penetrating oil. Using a 19mm wrench, loosen the outer tie rod holding nut. Tap on the knuckle to release the ball joint. Finish unscrewing the nut. Then remove the outer tie rod. Turn the brake disc inward to make this operation easier. Brush the bolt holding the strut foot, then spray it with penetrating oil. Then use a 27mm wrench, a ratchet, and a 30mm socket to prevent the bolt from rotating, and unscrew the nut of the strut foot. Finish unscrewing the nut by hand. Extract the bolt from the foot of the strut. You can use a pin punch and a hammer to help you. Brush the 3 nuts holding the strut mount bearing and spray them with penetrating oil. From the engine compartment, use a ratchet, an extender, and a 15mm socket to unscrew the 3 nuts that hold the strut mount bearings in place. You can also use a wrench to help you. Press the lower control arm to create the space needed to remove the strut foot. You can now extract the strut.
For great content, our best price, and fast shipping, download the CarParts.com app now.
Using a wire brush, brush off the location of the strut and grease to make it easier to install. You can order the struts used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Take your new strut, unscrew the 3 nuts holding the strut mount bearing. Insert the strut starting from the top part. Then, loosely screw the 3 nuts back on so that there is enough slack for the next operations. It is then necessary to insert the strut foot into the control arm. Use a plastic mallet to fit it into place. Now you can replace the bolt of the strut foot. Use a crowbar to pry and align the control arm bushing with the bolt insertion hole. Meanwhile, reinsert the bolt. You can use a plastic mallet. Put the outer tie rod back in place in the knuckle. Screw the nut back on until it makes contact. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Take the cotter pin and fit it into the castle nut. Using the jack, lift the wheel knuckle assembly so as to roughly screw the strut foot retaining nut. Start screwing by hand, then with a ratchet. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Remove the jack. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put your truck back on the ground before properly fixing the wheels in place. The final tightening of the 3 nuts holding the strut mount bearing is carried out once the vehicle is on the ground. Screw the 3 nuts that hold the mounts back on until there is contact. Tighten the nuts with a torque wrench. Operation complete.
Quality parts, priced right.